today I am going to be, well, I got this thing. This is for old people like myself who cannot see very well. So when I'm looking at film, I've started, so you can kind of start to see, but it is a magnifying glass in there. And so generally speaking, I will go down and look at it to make sure that the image is in focus or something of that nature. Look at any scratches that might exist on the film. But that doesn't really help the stream work. So I have an old webcam that I am planning on setting up to use something like this. So let me get it lined up here, and then we'll focus it. That looks a little blurry to me. That's about right. So, but I don't want to like tape this down. I don't want to tape it down to this because it might not line up very well. So my plan is to simply, well, simple, relative term. I'm going to make a mount that fits here and holds this camera right where I want it. Right about there. Well, I'll get it actually centered up once I start measuring. But the idea is I want to be able to show you guys what I'm seeing when I look through this. So we have to start with, what do I know? So let me jump back to this a little bit better for you guys. So I know the piece needs to fit onto here. So I'll need to figure out the diameter of this. And then we'll need to figure out the size of this, the size in this direction, and then we're going to make a piece that fits down and then maybe even clips in over the top of this and clips underneath this lip. It's kind of hard to see, but we'll have it clip underneath this lip, and then we'll have it clip on either side of the camera. Let me see, right here and on the other side, and potentially on the top or the bottom here. So, what does this piece need to look like? This piece needs to look this, and then it'll come out to here and clip over. So that's like the rough idea of what I'm thinking. So this will sit here, and the camera will plug in here. Now let's measure the diameter of this bad boy, which out there, it's about 45 millimeters. We'll call it 45. This says 44.87, so close enough to 45. So we know that this dimension, the inside dimension, not the outside, needs to be 45 millimeter. And then we actually want this camera to live immediately on the surface of it. We don't want to have a gap or anything. So on that surface, we need to do, this is going to be the top of the focus ring for this lens. Will actually live right to this point here. So we need our hooks to begin. Let's unscrew this here. So this is 20 millimeters. It's rubber, so it's kind of hard to, might even be 21. Yeah, it's probably about 21. 21 is a safe number. Actually, it's rubbery, so we can cheat it a little bit. We'll cheat it down to 20. So the height of this is going to be 20 mil. And then that puts the center of this at 45 divided by 2, which would be 22.5. On center is 22.5, which means that I need to come off of the center of this 22.5 millimeters. Right about there. So that gives me about to the beginning of the L in Logitech. We're just going to eyeball this first one. 12.5, call it 13 millimeters. 13 millimeters from here to the edge is 13. And thickness to the lip here is 10 mil. So this lip here is going to be 10. And then we can clip as far in as, let's flip that around. We can go 4.5 millimeters in on the lip. So let's draw a lip onto this and then say 4.5. And I'm going to guess that that is 4.5 all the way around, just based off of how it looks. Yeah, it looks like it's about 4.5 on either side. So now we need to take the measurement from here, which is 40-ish. We'll call it 40 and a half. So where's that dimension? I don't have that on here. So let's do the top down. I think I was trying to do a top down there. So this will be here. Here's the centerpiece. The diameter of the centerpiece will actually be, we're going to go a little bit wider than the actual thing here. So let's call it 24 millimeters, which is about an inch. So this diameter is 24, which puts, so this will actually extend out, and then the clips are going to be here. And obviously it'll be mirrored on this side. And then, so this will be 13, because we have that number from here. We know that this is 45. Let's see what else can we measure here. The center of this is 22.5. And then, where else? All right, I was measuring the width. I need this dimension, which I believe we came up with 40 and a half. So 40.5, which center is 20.25. Cool. All right, that gives us a rough idea of what this should look like. We're going to go ahead and get started on that. Let's go ahead and jump into SolidWorks. What's the first thing we need to draw? Well, let's give ourselves some center lines. We'll go here. And we'll just eyeball these. They don't need to be exact. They actually are just geometry. Don't need a new line. So what I need is going to be this first circle. So that is going to be the hole that the camera can shoot through. Yeah, about 40 and a half. So 40.5. Cool. So we will build off of this circle. So we need this piece to live right in this little hole here. Let me switch it over. So we need this piece here to live right into this little slot. So we want these walls to extrude up the 20 millimeters, which is this height here. And then we'll build a clip-on underneath it that will attach to this piece here. And we are going to do a corner-to-corner rectangle. We're just going to eyeball it there. Smart dimension. We know that that wall is 4 millimeters thick. So we'll go 4 millimeters there. 4 mil there. 10.5 makes more sense. Okay, so at 10.5 is the bump here. Let me turn the light a little bit. Is the highest point. Yeah, 10.5. Cool. How do I do this? So I actually want it to extend down a little bit further. how much further do I want it to extend past the halfway point. So the reason I'm doing this is this will provide like a tight fit on the inside of the ring that we've made. So I don't want to cut my pieces too far, or my clips to be too far hot or too high. This piece I'm about to cut out, because then it won't offer a snug fit. So we're going to call it 15 because it's 14.5 there. So let's do this. So 14 is the height, right? No, we want to do 14 minus 20. Oopsies, never mind. I want to do, I always mess this up. I always subtract the wrong number. So it's 20 minus 14, which gives you 6. Cool. And then I want to do a box around this. And this box is, so if the camera is, 40.5 to the edge here, I need to make it a little bit bigger. So I've been doing about 2 millimeters on each side. So we'll call it 44.5 is the width of this. So it's currently set to that. So let's go 5, and that will give us that. And then the length of it is 68.75. So we want to do the length of it to be 68.75 plus 4. Alright, that gets us our shape, and now we can hold this. So 72.75, 72.75 divided by 2 will get us in the center there, and then 44.5 divided by 2, about 22, will get us centered there. So we fucked up somewhere. Where did we fuck up? Where did we fuck up? We fucked up because this piece is physically larger than the camera itself. So what have I been getting my numbers off of? Let me exit this sketch. What is this? 44.5. That's that number, so it should come up to here. Which is larger than this, and I made this smaller. Interesting. Something is not working out. So this is the size of the camera's face. I'm going to print this and then make another video eventually. But that is enough for today.